अपाययन् माम् अनवेप्सुमन्धम् कृपाम्बुदिर्यः परदुःखदुःखी सनातनं तं प्रभुमाश्रयामि. First of all, offer my millions of obeisances to lotus feet of Asmati Guru Pad Padma Vitala Prashnadev Guru Shishma Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and also offer obeisances to lotus feet of Vendi Sannyasi Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj, Nam Nishta Santa Shri Aniruddhas Prabhuji, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are gathered here, please accept my humble obeisances. So, we are Hare Krishna. So, we are discussing Bhagavad Gita. Sarvopanishado Gavo Dugdha Gopalandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gita Amritam Mahat. Gita is actually essence of all the Vedic scriptures. Sarvopanishado Gavo. The Upanishads are like cows and Gita is the milk of those cows. So, to discuss this essence of all Vedic scriptures, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text number 47. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tattva dhananjaya siddhi asiddha samo buddha samatvam yogam uchyate. Yogastha, equipoised. Kuru, perform. Karmani, your duties. Sangam, attachment. Tattva, giving up. Dhanam, jaya. O Arjuna, siddhi asiddhayo, in success and failure. Samaha, equipoised. Bhutva, becoming. Samatvam, equanimity. Yoga, yoga, uchyate is called. Be steadfast in yoga, O Arjuna. Perform your duty. Abandon all attachment to success or failure. Such evenness of mind is called yoga. Krishna tells Arjuna that he should act in yoga. And what is that yoga? Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever disturbing senses. So here, Krishna is advising us that the senses are ever disturbing. So you'll see that the fish is caught by hook, and many times you'll see that the fish gets attracted to the bee, to any insect, and then gets caught in the hook. So Krishna is telling us, don't get bewildered by senses, and these senses are really death personified. Because if any of your senses is weak, and you get attracted to that temptation, then Krishna is telling us that it will be very dangerous for you. Karmani, so Krishna is telling us that don't be attached to senses. So ever disturbing senses. And for example, the senses are so notorious. For example, fish, how it is caught, and basically the hook is there. So this hook, they put some bait actually to there, and then the fish will catch that bait. So that is how the fish hook. So many types of fish hook are decided. You see that there are so many types of temptations for ears also. Music. Oh, we want to hear very nice music, and then what happens? Oh, we become forgetful of Krishna. Film music or something like this. So we should know that this mundane music we should not listen. We should listen to Krishna consciousness, bhajans, kirtans, harikatha. That is our real sense gratification. So Krishna tells Arjuna that he should act in yoga. And what is that yoga? So yoga actually, what is the definition of yoga? So yoga is actually means it is told that 1 plus 1 is 2. That is really yoga. Addition is really yoga. Without addition, there cannot be in yoga. Yoga means really addition. So for example, I am totaling everything, all the activities in service of Sri Krishna, and that is really yoga. Like 1+1 is 2. So basically, we are taught here 1+1 will become 2. This is called yoga. So we should know that yoga doesn't mean just the exercises, body exercises. No, that is not yoga. But today, what yoga is commonly been understood is that Ashtanga yoga, or among them especially asanas, and they do asanas. There are different asanas. Mr. B.K. Sayangar was very expert in uh, doing Ashtanga yoga. He was Sri Vaishnava. Was childhood he was very weak. So he started doing yoga and he became healthy. So he was expert in doing this Ashtanga yoga. But these type of asanas are, we cannot even think about them. How we can think of being able to do this type of asanas. He is very old, but he was able to do good yoga. But that is Ashtanga yoga, and what we do is actually called Bhakti yoga. And this Bhakti yoga means we should pray to Krishna, chant his holy names. That is what is Bhakti yoga. So here, the Supreme is the Lord, and because he himself is telling the Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has nothing to do with the results of the fight. Gain or victory are Krishna's concern. Arjuna is simply advised to act according to the dictation of Krishna. So basically, this is the very good verse. Let us see the suicide rate in India. So there is one place in India called Kota, and there so many students commit suicide. So the Kota police said that there have been multiple suicides this year after a 2-year gap due to pandemic when most coaching had left the city. So there are so many students they are committing. So you see Kota suicides. So many people are committing suicide because they are frustrated. The children, they cannot get the desired level of success. But Krishna's equation is separate. Krishna is telling success is equal to failure. Failure and success should be treated as equal. Whether I get success or whether I get failure in material endeavors, it doesn't matter. Whether we are praised, someone may praise us and someone may criticize us. It's okay. It's all the same. Happiness is equal to distress. Krishna's equations are like this. Happiness should be treated like equal to same as distress. Loss is equal to gain. If loss and gain should be considered the same, Krishna is telling like that. Then Krishna is telling so many things. Good health and ill health. Same thing Krishna is telling. Both are same for us. Because sometimes we are in good health, sometimes we are in bad health. So anyways, Krishna is teaching equanimity. So the following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga. And this is practiced in the process called Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness, only can one give up the sense of proprietorship. This is called proprietor, the sense of proprietorship. So basically, what is proprietorship? Now in Bhagavad Gita, you'll find one verse that Krishna is telling Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam. This is a very famous verse. Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam. And this verse is the peace formula. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj is telling that if you know this verse, Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Surudam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Shanti Mruchati. Here you will see in Veda base, Krishna is telling that I am the beneficiary of sacrifices, tapasam, and of penances and austerities. You do sacrifices, but for me, you do penances, austerities for my pleasure. I am the beneficiary. Sarvalok of all the planets and of demigods and thereof. Maha Ishwaram, the Supreme Lord. Surudam, the benefactor. Sarva of all Bhutanam, the living entities. Nyatva, thus knowing, Ma, me. Lord Krishna, Shanti, relief from material pangs. Ruchati, one achieves. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. So basically, this is a universal peace formula. Now let us see in the world what is happening. There are actually war. Everywhere there is war is going on. And there are so many types of wars are going on. What is going on in the world right now? There are so many soldiers attacking and guns and missiles, and there are also so many types of bombing and so like this is going on in the world because this is not done for the pleasure of Krishna. Everything is done for the sake of satisfying one's own senses, for satisfying a ruler who himself does not control his senses. So what is the use of conquering the whole world? First conquer your senses. So Krishna is telling again, conquer your senses first. There are all these senses should be conquered. Like how to catch a monkey. Is it very easy to catch a monkey? Not very easy. But easy way to catch a monkey, like Srila Gurudev was telling, that you take one earthen pot and in that you put one potato. One person did this experiment in Gurudev's village. Monkey came and to get the earthen pot which was buried in the ground and he was trying to take the potato. He wanted to run but he couldn't run because potato was in the hand of the monkey and the monkey was caught. So uncontrolled senses, you can catch a monkey also. Understand? Otherwise monkey is very difficult to catch. So people get and animals also get caught because of their senses. Understand? So the senses should be controlled. Srila Gurudev gives an example that there was a president of India, president of United States, Mr. Bill Clinton, and he also was conquered by one young girl because he is a very powerful person, but he could not control his senses. So, not to blame Mr. Bill Clinton, but I'm just giving an example that anyone who has uncontrolled senses will not be successful in life. So by Krishna consciousness only can one give up the sense of proprietorship. One has to become the servant of Krishna or the servant of Krishna. This is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness. So basically, an example of servant of Krishna, I will give servant of Krishna is Hanuman. He is actually the servant of Krishna or Rama. Krishna and Rama, they are non-different. So Krishna and Rama, their servant is Hanuman. But let us take case of a servant who is someone who is servant of Rama, and that is Vibhishan. So Vibhishan, he is actually servant of Hanuman. He actually accepted the shelter of Hanuman. Understand? So as a result, what happened that because he surrendered to Hanuman, he very easily got the mercy of Ramachandra. But if he had approached Ramchandra on his own, then it would have been very difficult for Vibhishan to get his shelter. So we should always try to approach Bhagavan with the help of a servant of Bhagavan. So see that here, this is the demon king Ravana's younger brother Vibhishan. He was pious by nature, but he was recommended by Hanuman. Understand? And Lakshman is standing back here. So Vibhishan is surrendered to Ram through Hanuman. Hanuman brought him to the lotus feet of Ram. And that's why he got shelter of the lotus feet of he got the shelter of lotus feet of Ramchandra very quickly. Understand? So actually when Vibhishan came to meet Ramchandra, there were actually monkeys were scared that this is a Hanuman. The monkeys thought that this is the brother of Ravana, he may be very dangerous. But Ramchandra said, no, I am not afraid. I will give shelter to anyone who surrenders to me. Sakrut eva prapannosmi. Abhayam I give that person shelter if someone comes and surrenders to me. So it is always beneficial to be servant of the servant. Hmm. That's why we sometimes we say dasosmi. Like someone would offer pranams to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. He would say dasosmi. Dasosmi means dasaha dasaha asmi. Hmm. Dasa asmi means I am your servant. I am your servant. So basically, even Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was so elevated, still he always said, I am your servant to the devotees who are offering pranams to him. Dasosmi. But we can also say Dasa Dasosmi. I am the servant of the servant. So basically, Kula Shekhar Alwar, he told that Majjanmana Phalamidam Madhukaita Bhare, Mat Prarthaniya, Majjanmana Phalamidam Madhukaita Bhare, Mat Prarthaniya Mad Anugraham Esha Eva, Tad Vritya Vritya Paricharaka Vritya Vritya, Vrityasya Vritya Itimam Smaralokanatha. Here is telling that, O Lord, I am the servant of your servants. Vritya Vritya, uh, Paricharaka Vritya Vritya, Vrityasya Vritya Itimam Smaralokanatha. I am the servant of your servant. So that is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness, which alone can help one to act in yoga. Arjun is a Kshatriya and as such is participating in the Varnashram Dharma institution. It is said in the Vishnu Puran that in the Varnashram Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. No one should satisfy himself as is the rule in the material world, but one should satisfy Krishna. So again, we see that Krishna has to be in the center. Like for example, this circle has a center. So circle and there is a center. So how you see a center of the circle? And so all the diameters pass through that point, which is in the middle of the circle. So very clearly you can see here circle. And there is a black dot and that is the center of it. So like that, the center of this material world and the spiritual world is Krishna. Krishna is at the center. If you do every activity, keeping Krishna in the center, Krishna is the enjoyer. Understand? So basically, we have to keep Krishna in the center. Understand? What is the difference between communism and Krishna consciousness? Actually, we are also communist. In communism, uh, which is very popular in some, even in China and also Russia, and also state of Kerala in India, the government is in the center. They keep the government in the center. Understand? And they think that everything should be enjoyed by the government. But in Krishna consciousness, we keep Krishna in the center. Krishna should be in center. Understand? But depending on America or Great Britain, England, you have different spelling of the word centers. The British people would spell it as CANTRE and Americans CANTR, whatever it is. In Krishna consciousness, Krishna is in the center. Bhaktaram yagatapasam, sarvaloka maheshwaram, surhudam sarvabhutanam, yatvamam shantam. If you know that Krishna is your well-wisher and I will do every activity for the pleasure of Krishna, then there will be no fight. Understand? So communism, government is at the center, but in Krishna consciousness movement, we have Krishna in the center. So center is very, very important. Who is the center of our life? Krishna should be the center. Understand? Everything should be Krishna. So now, here Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj is telling that Arjun is a Kshatriya and as such is participating in the Varnashram Dharma institution. It is said in the Vishnu Puran. Now the Kshatriya means basically four Varnas. Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. You are not Kshatriya by birth, but you are Kshatriya by training. Arjun was a Kshatriya by birth and as well as by training. He was born in a Kshatriya family and Arjun was a perfect Kshatriya. And for him, it was very important to fight. But while Parshuram, you see that the son of Jamadagni, he was Brahmin by birth, but Kshatriya by nature. Understand? Parshuram was Kshatriya by nature, and Arjun was Kshatriya by birth as well as nature. So you see that Parshuram, he was the son of Jamadagni. He single-handedly annihilated all the Kshatriyas 21 times. So Parshuram, he was born in a Brahmin family, and you can see that the secretary around his uh, chest or around his torso. But he was having a nature of a Kshatriya. Understand? So generally speaking, his nature was like a Kshatriya, and that's why he's carrying a weapon. It doesn't befit a Brahmana to carry weapons. A Brahman generally doesn't carry any weapons. Sannyasi also don't carry any weapon. But although Parshuram was born in a Brahmin family for a specific reason, in order to control the Kshatriyas who were out of control, who were not behaving properly with the learned class, who were very puffed up, he actually assumed weapons and he fought with the Kshatriyas and killed them. So you see that Parshuram, although born in Brahmin family, act like a Kshatriya. So, but generally we follow Varnashram Dharma. And in Vishnu Puran, it says that Varnashram Dharma is meant to satisfy Vishnu. Everything should be done for the satisfaction of Vishnu. Now, who wrote Vishnu Puran? Vishnu Puran is written by Vyasadeva, but also it is attributed to his father. Vishnu Puran is attributed to his father, Shri Parashar Rishi. As you know that Parashar Rishi was the father of Srila Vyasadeva, and he wrote this particular Samhita. So you'll see here that Parashar apparently also wrote the Jyotish Shastra, Parashar Rishi, and he is the father of Bhagavan Vedavyasa. So Parashar Rishi, he wrote Vishnu Puran, and it is talks about the bhakti to Vishnu. So the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. No one should satisfy himself as is the rule in the material world. But one should satisfy Krishna. So unless one satisfies Krishna, one cannot correctly observe the principles of Varnashram Dharma. Indirectly, Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna told him. Everything should be done for the pleasure of Krishna. Oh, thy will be done. I am your servant. I am your slave. So Arjuna should simply do as Krishna is telling. What is dharma? Dharma means to satisfy Krishna. That's all it is. Dharma means to satisfy Krishna. If you satisfy Krishna, then we are following dharma. Otherwise, we are engaging in adharma. That's why Krishna is telling Arjuna that karmanne ivadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhur ma te sangostam akarmani. Karmani means your prescribed duty. Eva certainly adhikara, a right to your ma, never phaleshu, to the fruits of work. Means you have to do your prescribed duty. Understand? At any time. Ma phaleshu kadacha. Ma phaleshu kadacha. So you are telling you are the ma means never. Phaleshu means the fruits of work. Don't be attached to the fruits. For example, there are doctors and they take particular vow. And they actually take the vow, it's the Hippocrates vows. If any allopathy doctor, because the Hippocrates oath is an oath of ethics historically taken by physicians. It is one of the most widely known of Greek medical text. In its original form, it requires a new physician to swear by a number of healing gods to uphold specific ethical standards. So here, this Hippocrates was founder of this medicine, and he gave the vow. So basically, you have to impartially treat the patients, whether he has money or not having money. So they take this vow all over the world. So the knowledge I have received from my teachers, I swear to care for anyone who suffers, prince or slave, If I ever break this oath, let my gods take away my knowledge of this art and my own health. Here speaks a citizen, a servant of people. May I be destroyed if I betray these words. You see that? This is the Hippocrates oath, Hippocratic oath. That the knowledge I received from my teachers, I swear to care for anyone who suffers, prince or slave. Doesn't matter his economic level. I will serve him. Even if he's a prince, I'll serve him. Even if he's a slave, I'll serve him. If I break this oath, let the gods, let the demigods who are in charge of this knowledge department should take away my knowledge of this art of healing. And also my health should also be adversely affected. They should punish me by giving me ill health. So even an ordinary medical professional has to take this vow. What to speak of a bhakti yogi? So this should also be our vow. This should be also our oath. We will act in any field of life. We'll act. Will honestly will do. You are a teacher, no harm. You can teach the subjects. Teacher should teach the children, but previously, now you see that universities are becoming very expensive, and they have to actually spend a lot of money in order to get educated in the universities. But previously, the Brahmanas used to educate the children, and Gurukul system was there. And for example, Krishna, and even today there are some Gurukuls are present. Basically, in a Gurukul, very simple setup is there. The students will sit underneath a tree, and the Guru living in a hut nearby, and students also living in huts nearby will study underneath the tree. No admission fee, nothing. And when the education is going on, they have to do some voluntary work. Means the students have to do some voluntary work. They must do seva to their guru, wife of the guru if he is a householder, and they must also learn different arts which are imparted by guru, and especially Brahma Vidya, the knowledge about the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. This is the ancient Gurukul system. But now, this Gurukul system is now disappearing. Understand? Now, this Gurukul system is getting weaker. But still, there are some Gurukuls where the Vedas are taught and the children are taught Achman. Like you see, the children are taking Achman. We also must do Achman before doing Gayatri. Om Keshavaya Namah, Om Narayana Namah, Om Madhavaya Namah, Om Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. We must try to. So, like you see, these students are doing japa. Japa. Yajnanam japa yajnosmi. Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita that among all types of sacrifices, I am the japa sacrifice. The chanting of the holy name is very important. And their foreheads are adorned with the tilak, Tripunda tilak. So no student should be without tilak. Shriya Udvapunda tilak. So such Gurukul. Now these students are Shaivites, they have Tripunda tilak. But we recommend Urdha Punda tilak. Understand? So Gurukula means actually we have to always study. Like Dronacharya had a Gurukul. There the Pandavas and Kauravas studied. And they were like acting like menial servants of Dronacharya. Whatever Dronacharya would say, they have to do. Understand? Even if they are princes, they have to become obedient to Dronacharya. Because he is giving the art of archery to them. Understand? So this is the ancient Gurukul system. But now it is corrupt form. It has become universities where you have to pay a lot of money. You may have to even borrow money, and you may have to spend years and years together in actually paying the debt incurred in your higher education. Understand? So it's a corrupted form. So here it is told Ma Karma Phala, towards the results of work. Hetu cause, who, we, Ma, not. They, you, Sangha, attachment, Astu, there must be akarmani, not accomplishing prescribed duties. You are only able to perform your prescribed work, but you have no right to the fruits of your act. Now what is happening in the world? That there is actually stick and carrot policy. Otherwise, people don't want to work. So you see that stick and carrot policy is used because people are very much in fruity mentality. No one is inspired. So basically, they show a carrot to a donkey, and the donkey or horse is foolish enough that in order to eat that carrot, it will keep on running. Understand? Otherwise, what don't want to run. And also stick in the hand. So carrot and stick policy basically means showing a temptation and also trying to punish punishment. So carrot and stick policy. So people are so much actually. You see here in this one, there is actually a carrot of quality shown, and otherwise there is actually there is a punishment also is there. Hmm. Punishment is also there. So people are not motivated. People are not motivated. They are actually they want remuneration. They want incentives. In the corporate world, we are taught how to inspire people to work harder by giving them incentives. So that's why you see that many times they talk about. We have had a special actually in HR, human resources. They talk about incentives, how the incentive should be given, pay raise. They are talking about pay raise, promotion in the cadre. So whatever it is, they are actually people are very much fruitive mentality. But Krishna is telling, don't be attached to the result. You should not consider yourself to be the cause of the result of your actions, nor should you become attached to neglecting your duties. First of all, you have to know that I am not the doer. In English, in Madhu Sampradaya, they say, Naham karta, Harik karta. So I am not the doer, Lord Hari is the doer. Naham karta, Harik karta. I am not the doer, Lord Hari is the doer. This is the most important things. I am not the doer, and don't be attached to the results also. So Shri Bhagwan is the instructor of Jnana Yoga, the path of spiritual advancement through transcendental knowledge. Bhakti Yoga, the path of loving devotion, and Karma Yoga, the path of spiritual advancement, where the fruit of one's past action is offered to the Lord. So far, he has directed his instructions about Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga to his friend Arjuna. Now, having considered Arjuna's ineligibility to perform these two processes, he explains selfless action on Nishkam Karma Yoga in two verses. The first beginning with Karmani. So basically, yoga is only one. Don't think that there are 10 yogas. Yoga is only one. But there are steps. First, you are doing Nishkam Karma Yoga. And not be attached to the action, result of the action. This is Nishkam Karma Yoga. Those who are even more advanced, then they practice Jnana Yoga and then Bhakti Yoga. So basically, there are different steps. Like for example, you'll see that a staircase. Bhakti is like a stair. Yoga is like a staircase. The staircase has so many stairs. So Bhakti Yoga is also like that. Like you are climbing up a staircase, you go step by step. So like that, Bhakti Yoga is also like a staircase. First comes Karma, Sakam Karma Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga, then also Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, then Bhakti Yoga. So there are different aim and objects. People have different aim and objects. But our aim and object is to get Krishna Prema. So by the word Mahafaleshu, Krishna intends to say that those who desire the fruits of their actions have extremely impure hearts. Your heart, however, is almost pure. I know this, and that is why I am speaking in this way. So those who aspire for fruit result, they have very impure heart. So that's why in India you see that so many times people are working and not satisfied with their salary. So generally they go for bribes also. In India, everywhere people are taking bribes many times, and that is what is going on. Without bribe, no one wants to work. In order to do give any contract, or in order to get anything done, all you have to do is under the table you have to give money. Everywhere this is going on. This comes from the fruitive mentality. Understand? Fruitive mentality. And we don't have to take bribe from any living entity, and we should not also take any bribe from Bhagwan also. Means Bhagwan, you give me this, then I will chant Hare Krishna. If you give me that, then I'll chant Hare Krishna. So don't try to don't expect any bribe from Krishna. Understand? We should not ask anything from Krishna. Oh Krishna, I'm doing it for your satisfaction. I'm not a fruity worker. I'm not a businessman. Understand? Like Prahlad Maharaj, he told Bhagavan, I am not a businessman. I am not a businessman. I am your devotee. A businessman may be interested in money, but I am not a businessman. Prahlad told, I am your servant. So here, by the words Ma Falesha, Krishna intends to say that those who desire the fruits of their actions have extremely impure hearts. Your heart, however, is almost pure. I know this, and that is why I am speaking in this way. If one points out that any action one performs will bear fruit, Sri Bhagavan responds, Ma karma phala hetur bhu. A person becomes the cause of the fruit of action only when he acts with a desire for it. You should not act like that. I bless you not to fall into this category. Akarma means neglecting prescribed duties, and vikarma means performing sinful activities. So let us try to understand the difference between akarma and vikarma. For example, akarma means I am a police officer and I do not catch a thief. Understand? I simply sit there in my office and do not catch a thief. Although it was possible for me to catch a thief or a robber. Understand? This is called akarma. Akarma means not doing what you are supposed to do. This is actually dereliction of duty. Means ignoring your duty. This is called akarma. Akarma is highly condemned. Suppose you are in office and you're simply sleeping in the office. Understand? What your boss will do? This is akarma. You're simply falling asleep in the office. Understand? Then what is called? This is called akarma. Means you are hired in order to do the work, but you are simply sleeping. But so this is akarma. But what is vikarma? Oh, vikarma means actually doing wrong activities. Understand? And that is called vikarma. Vikarma means sinful activities. So can. So here is telling that we have to understand what is vikarma. Vikarma means activities which are forbidden. Some people like working very hard, like a butcher. They are actually slaughtering animals. Their activities, they are working very hard. Butchers are the most busy people in the world. But what they do is actually vikarma. Understand? Why it is vikarma? Because Krishna is told to be non-violent. We have no right to kill others. What is the Bible says? Thou shalt not kill. You should not kill anyone. But what they did, they said that the Christians, they said that no, kill is not correct, thou shalt not murder. And they changed it to murder. So it is okay to kill, but not murder. Means don't kill a human being, that's all. So they changed the commandment, thou shalt not kill, to thou shalt not murder. Understand? And they opened big slaughterhouses. So they are breaking the commandment of God, the Christians. So they are not really Christians. They are actually not true Christians. Real Christians are Vaishnavas. So they are actually Vaishnavas are the real Christians. They are true Christians. Understand? And they are true Muslims and they are true Buddhists. Understand? So, vikarma means killing animals, stealing, drinking liquor. All these are called vikarma. Intoxication, meat eating, gambling, intoxication, illicit sex. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes Krishna as saying, there are three types of karma to consider: karma, akarma, and vikarma. Of these, vikarma, engaging in sinful activities, and akarma, non-performance of prescribed religious duties within the varnashram system, are extremely inauspicious. Like many times, people take shelter of akarma. So, like you see that strike, uh, uh, and sometimes the bus personnel. Bus personnel means those who are actually riding buses, and the drivers and the conductors. They go on strike, and what happens? They are not. They are actually engaged in akarma. They say, "Don't we don't want to work," and then all the bus stands in India, all the buses are simply waiting there. Understand? And even you are sick, someone is having emergency, and the buses are simply grounded and they are on a strike. Understand? So you see that this is a karma. For whatever reason, we should not harass others. This akarma means not engaging in what you are supposed to do for material gain. So here it is told clearly that um, you should not desire them. Give up vikarma and akarma and carefully follow the path of karma. Karma is of three types: daily duties, nitya karma; occasional duties, nimittik karma; and fruitive activities, karma karma. Of these three, the last is most inauspicious. Those who perform karma karma become the cause of the fruits of their activities. So it is for your benefit that I am telling you to not adopt this method of action, because if you do, you will become the cause of the results of your actions. You have the right to perform your prescribed duties, but you do not have the right to the fruits of any action. It is acceptable for those who take shelter of yoga to perform nitya karma and naimittik karma solely in order to maintain their lives. For example, you are doing nitya karma. Means what is nitya karma? I get up in the morning, pass stool, then take bath, take achaman, then do Gayatri mantra, Sandhya, and then I do all these activities. These are all called Nitya Karma. Nitya Karma. Every day that must be done. Understand? But what is Shraddha? Shraddha means um, we are doing Shraddha for deceased relatives. Generally speaking, we are supposed to do Shraddha at Gaya. Gaya is a place where Vishnu's footprints are there. So Gaya also two types: Vishnu Gaya and Buddha Gaya. So you'll find footprints of Lord Vishnu in Gaya. And that's why it is important to perform sacrifice and Shraddha in Gaya. So you see that here the footprints of Lord Vishnu, the original footprints of Lord Vishnu are seen in Vishnupad temple in Gaya. There you are supposed to do the Shraddha for your forefathers, for their safe passage to the spiritual world, to get so that they can get a good birth. So Lord Vishnu's lotus feet or Krishna's lotus feet, they are actually very much decorated, and they have many types of signs. For example, lotus, chakra, ankush is gold, dhwaja, flag, and also umbrella. All these things are the great signs, and they adorn the feet of great personalities like associates of Bhagwan or Bhagwan himself. So Radharani's lotus feet, Krishna's lotus feet, Ram's lotus feet, Sita's lotus feet, they are full of so many types of divine signs to show that they are divinity. Otherwise, what will happen? We will simply mistake Ramchandra to be an ordinary human being. We will not be able to recognize him. But these signs identify what is Bhagwan, what are the characteristics of Bhagwan. Anyone can be identified as a very powerful person if he has these signs on his hands or legs, on his feet. So you have the right to perform your prescribed duties, but you do not have the right to the fruits of any action. It is acceptable for those who take shelter of yoga to perform nitya karma and naimittik karma solely in order to maintain their lives. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tattva dhananjaya siddhi asaddayo samo buddhva samatvam yogam. Is telling yogastha, being situated in bhakti yoga, kuru perform karmani, prescribed duties. Sangam, attachment as the performer of action, tattva, abandon. So don't be attached to the result. Don't be attached to the result. Krishna is telling again. Be situated in bhakti yoga. Or Dhananjaya, completely give up attachment to the success or failure of the results of your work. Thus, connected in bhakti yoga, perform your prescribed duty with equanimity. Such equanimity is called yoga. So in the verse beginning with Yogastha, Shri Bhagavan is giving instructions on selfless action or Nishkam Karma. He says, become equipoised in victory and defeat and just perform your prescribed duty of engaging in this battle. The result of this Nishkam Karma Yoga is that it culminates in Jnana Yoga. Thus, Jnana Yoga is the purpose of the various verse and the following verse. Sarada Varshini Prakashika Vritti. Intelligence which is equipoised in the face of the success or failure of one's prescribed word is called yoga. So intelligence which is equipoised in the face of the success or failure of one's prescribed word is called yoga. Buddha is telling that we have to have intelligence and remain equipoised whether happiness comes or distress comes. Understand? So this is the message today. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpataruvasya krupa sindhudevacha puritanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So, Hare Krishna. Anyone has any comments or questions? You can ask or Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Vanchakalpataruvasya krupa sindhudevacha puritanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo. Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. So tomorrow is Safala Ekadashi. And all of you should fast on for Safala Ekadashi and your life will be successful. So tomorrow you take fruit and water, groundnut, potatoes, all that stuff. So tomorrow is Ekadashi. And some austerities we have to do. So it is maybe a little difficult in Kali Yuga, but it will have great benefit and you'll get bhakti if you follow Ekadashi. Bhakti is the mother of devotion. So don't miss tomorrow Ekadashi. And day after tomorrow, I think after 6:40 and before 10 o'clock, there is a parent. Or maybe 9:30 or 10 o'clock. So after sunrise, you can do parent the day after tomorrow. Don't pluck tulsi leaves day after tomorrow. Thank you so much. Vanchata patruvescha kripa sindhuvecha prittanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Swa, Hare Hare Ram. Thank you so much.